All right, everybody. Not sure if the ads are done yet or not, but I feel like I should go ahead and start getting into it here. And, if the ads are still rolling, you guys can let me know in the chat and I will, go over what I was talking about again. We're going to be working on my Palia fan art that I started yesterday of Tish. I'm actually glad that I stepped away from it and came back and looked at it because I just realized that I have her hair going the opposite direction here. So we're going to fix that. But yeah, today's another sleepy day. Had trouble getting out of bed because it's been so rainy and overcast and it makes me just want to sleep the whole time. But you know, wanted to come on here and do some artwork and hang out with you guys. So made myself get out of bed. Anyway, let's go ahead and get over to the actual artwork and then we'll get started here. And I'm gonna do, since I did the hair incorrectly here, is we're gonna do a quick sketch of the correct direction of the hair, and then we can go ahead and we can fix that. So it looks like her hair kind of does like this. Number here. And it kind of comes over. And it has a little thing like that. And then it kind of just curls like this. And then it goes up. And then this is actually the side that has the braid. So like that. And then the rest of her hair kind of goes this way. Like that. And then she has like a curl jam here. Not really like a pun on the band Pearl Jam, but that'd be kind of funny as a dad joke. And I kind of want some of her hair flowing a bit. Let's have some flyaway hairs here. Just kind of want to, I think I want to exaggerate how big her hair is. Yeah. Plus, it'll make it a little more dynamic. All right. Then we'll have her little headband thing here. And then, of course, she's got her the ribbon part of it. Like that. And then the actual flower is kind of one that's keeping her alive is actually on this side of the head. Nice. There we go. And we can turn down the opacity like crazy. And then I think I'll start doing the lines on the hair next. That'll be fun to do. Don't want her to just be bald the whole time, so. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, drawing Tish from Palia. It's one of the characters that I'm dating in the game. She is freaking adorable. Oops. Oh yeah. You can date like almost every single one of the villagers, like even simultaneously. So yes. Yeah, you should get the new update downloading so we can play together again, man. They just opened a whole new area called the Elderwoods. I think I'm gonna put some more like flyaway hairs because I want kind of like the wind to be blowing a bit. Oops. See if I can get my lines to cooperate here. I love you too. But yeah, I was telling Nympha VT yesterday because they were one of the ones that was hanging out with me that this game is like the perfect game for our age group for millennials. It's our fantasy of like actually owning a home and being able to dress it up and whatnot. So I was like, it's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just sadly the reality, unfortunately. But that's why I'm hoping to get an opportunity to move overseas, and then that won't be an issue. Or at least hopefully it won't be an issue. At least, you know, basic necessities won't like cost me a couple $100 every single time. Like going to Kroger and getting like 2 bags of groceries for like almost $100 is like ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta break up with the magic Nazi. Not a single person likes Nazis, so, you know. At least she gives you some lore. Oh yeah, this is looking so much better now that she's got some hair going here. Hair's always fun to draw anyway. What? She feeds you? That's crazy. If I had one gripe about dating Tish and Kenyatta is that they literally give you nothing for dating them other than Tish being super sweet and Kenyatta just being hot. Yeah. I don't know. I get it seems like Rust is the best one to actually date. Never leave you with an empty stomach, so hashtag Rust did nothing wrong ever. Yeah. No. Soup coon. We need super in our lives, Reth. Like you can't get got by the magical SS. I always thought that was so funny that people called Asuna Sandwich Coon in Sword Art. They're like, no, Sandwich Coon. I'm always annoyed in SAO when they like need to save her because she was their badass by herself. They should have just let her have to save Kirito because Kirito's little like bitch ass. He was definitely more the damsel type. Hey, how's it going, little nugget? Oh, hey, Nympha. Glad you're back. Sorry about yesterday. So, I don't know if you're following me on Twitter, but freaking OBS like crashed because it had to do some sort of like update, and it wouldn't let me back in for a while. And I was like freaking out, like looking on the internet, like, oh, what is wrong with my computer? And everybody's on the internet's like, oh, your graphics card is broken. And I'm like, no. But it turns out it was just OBS needing to update. Gave me a heart attack. Oh, no, no, no. It just like very abruptly crashed like everything. And then it wouldn't let me like back in. It kept telling me that I had like some sort of like encoder error. And I'm like, no. Yeah, this is one of my Palia girlfriends, so. Nice. Yeah, I wanna try Repo. Repo looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Hmm. Oh my god, I can't figure out what kind of curve I want here. Hmm. All right, we'll come back to that curve. Maybe if I do it from here. think maybe I need to turn off the background sketch. That'll probably help. Nice. I miss Game Peel. It's so funny. Make sure that these flyaways that I did make sense. Thinking goes like that in front of that one. Thanks, little nugget. I hope you have fun. Hmm. Hmm. See, I think I have a turnaround in the back of her hair. I know that her hair is all like squiggly here in the back. It's the best way to describe it. Trying to give it a little bit of like some motion, like there's a breeze. That doesn't really make sense to do that way. And of course, we'll have to go through and do some line variation here and there for our line weight. With me, how it could be on strings. You're tugging at my heartstrings, my heartstrings. Helpless, I'm so helpless to your touch. Touch me somehow. Freaking allergies are still kicking my butt. Can we just abolish allergies already? Like, any scientists out there that are just like, want to win a Nobel Peace Prize, get rid of allergies. The entire world will celebrate you and your glorious achievement. Yeah, exactly. Doing all of Rest's work for him in the game was worth it because you get to save Tish. All this bloodshed was worth it because Tish is so damn cute. Of course, we don't want to overdo the lines as well because we want to still observe the rule of thirds. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he does feed you for like doing stuff for him, so blame the devs. Save our man Reth from the bondage of everybody's shit talking. Like everybody in the village is like, "Ooh, he abandoned his path." It's like, so what? He feeds you guys every single day, every day. Yeah, exactly. Everybody else is like, "Oh, I'll give this to you, but you got to pay for it." Man gives you an oven out of the pure goodness of his heart. By the way, if you guys aren't playing this game, you should definitely check it out. It's really, really nice for like chill, like stress relief. And even for like a cozy game, like it has like a cozy game feel and appearance, but like once you get into like the storyline, there's some dark stuff that happens in it. It's not all as it appears on surface level. For example, this character has been dying her whole life, and you actually get a quest to save her from the disease, which is great because Tish is a national treasure. Got to protect the Tish. Oh crap. Didn't mean to go through that. This one can go here though. And I can actually go to the lines underneath and get rid of here. And in between here, get rid of most of these ear lines. Wait, hold on. Let me check my reference before I go erasing. Oh, okay, so a good amount of the ear is actually still visible. Just in here, it's covered up. And let's get here where the hair is covering this spot here. I could have done the anime thing and have it like go through it, but I don't think I want to do that this time. And then we can get rid of the hair through here. So the ear is sticking out. I think the lines are going to be a little bit messy on this, but that's okay. I can live with that. We could always make up for it with the when we go to do the rendering. Lines are just kind of a guide at the moment. Try not to obsess over them too much. So I can always paint over things. Especially if I end up not doing this as a freaking cell shading. Oh my goodness. Brain just completely 404'd on me there. I'm like, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah. My brain completely forgot what it was discussing. Yeah. It's playing the little dinosaur game when you can't find a web page. All right, so her actual smock or whatever, like the apron, again with words, there's a little more space in between here. That. We're just gonna kind of like, we're gonna skip around to different parts of the image. That way we, don't get like burnt out in one particular area. It's usually like works out pretty well in the end. That way, like, you don't get tired of drawing like one particular spot. So is this brush like thicker than what I was using? That looks like case. Yeah, I'll go through and I'll clean up these lines once we get them all established. Then we'll figure out what lines we want to like actually keep and that kind of thing. I do like these brushes though, because it reminds me of when I used to draw traditionally with a pencil. Very similar, behaves pretty much the same way, which is cool. So let's get rid of here where the hair is coming over. And right here too. I want to fix this curve a little bit more. I'll do like a little curl here, I think, at the tip. Maybe not like that shape. We kind of want a different shape. Kind of like that. I think that's better. There we go. Let's get it. I'm the man, I'm more the man, I'm a god. On God. All right, let's get this shape of her. She's got like the puffy sleeves. Blah, blah, blah. Puffly. I think I just like this song because it's ridiculous. I'm always a fan of like really fun, ridiculous songs like this. Got patch. Bonds in the basement. Yeah, whenever, every now and then I get into like a routine where like I exercise a lot, and I used to have a heavy bag that I would use to work out, like a punching bag. And songs like this were always great because you could get into like a rhythm like with the music and stuff, so it made it fun. You could like bounce around and do like footwork and stuff to it, which was cool. All right, let's see. Let me make sure that I'm not completely hiding her arm here. What? Oh, yeah. Try to get the details in here. Yeah, Havoc and I were looking at some development images from the game, and we've always had this debate about how tall the Majiri actually are, because like in game it seems to change. Like sometimes your character seems like way taller than them, and then sometimes they seem like they're like 1 million years tall. But we found an image the other day where Tish was like super tall. So it's like, yeah. Okay, I love you. Sure. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go through and clean up some of these lines, but that's okay. Get like her arm at least going here. Trying to make them a little bit thicker than the model itself. So we don't want to completely copy the mannequin because the proportions are definitely different. Might need to turn off some of these sketch lines. Yeah, we'll turn these off for just a minute here. That's definitely one of the best things about doing digital art is you can take the layers and you can turn things on and off. You know, if you're not like 100% confident that you're going to be able to draw something the way you want to, you just put it on a different layer. But you also don't want to go overboard with your layers because then you'll have to go through and organize them and all that kind of stuff. So, like, I haven't done any labeling or organization with my layers, so I have to be kind of careful here. But what I'm going to end up doing is merge them down anyway. So, and then we'll do like some cleanup and whatnot because there's a lot of artifacts. Overrated. Hey, I get to the point where I have like hundreds of like layers and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on here? But hey, you know, everybody's got a different workflow, a different process, you know what I mean? Like if you can make it work, then you know, nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging. I don't judge anybody about how they do anything. As long as you're happy with it, then that's all that matters. Like hell, half the time I forget my own process and start just going like super rogue. The ADHD kicks in and it takes over, and I'm just like, shit. What was I doing? It's like I had no idea. I had a plan, and then my hand had another plan, and, and did that instead. Man, my playlist has been playing a lot of Mars Volta lately. Let's do something else. Oh, I have green tea. I totally forgot. Delicious. Let's see. What do I listen to? My super random playlist that I just keep adding to. Oh my goodness. That'll work. Here's some Soul Eater. To become one of those being connected, I'm telling the song and words. And come together, and they will not go unheard. Intertwined. Oh, wait. Did I just erase the wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. Woo! Thought I erased the wrong line there. Up into madness. All right, I'll come back to that. Together, and they will not be on her. Oh my god, I cannot wait for season 3 of Fire Force to finish so I can binge it. See, let's do this one on a separate layer. Eye to eye, through the night, new day. Love, now that I'm with you, I won't look out. In the darkness, if you believe me. I can't promise that will be tomorrow. Let's just leave it today. In the struggle, another new way. Yeah, I love the art style of Fire Force and Soul Eater, and the action is just like chef's kiss. I also think it's kind of crazy with Soul Eater. Like I started off like hating like Black Star, like he was like some obnoxious like Naruto like ripoff. But then by the end he was like one of my favorite characters. I was like, Black Star is so fucking OP. Especially when his weapon Tsubaki like absorbs his father's weapon. Ooh, oh man. They get such a power boost, it's ridiculous. And then you get actually like some character development out of them too, which is cool. I love Obi in Fire Force. I love Maki. I like most of the characters actually. Arthur's dumb as hell, but it's hilarious. His little night fantasies are so damn funny. Like they'll be getting bodied and then they're just like, Arthur, you know, you're the only knight that can save us. And then he's like, just clicks on. All right, right, let's see. So we need to get rid of these lines. Am I in the right layer for this? Must be this layer. There we go. I do need to start merging some of these layers together so I don't get confused. But it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah, he is so dumb. Him and Shinra have to share a brain cell sometimes to get through an episode. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and merge these layers together and then I can clean that all up. There we go. Yeah. I mean, overall, he has it pretty rough too. Like, he's got a lot of shitty things that are happening to him. All right, so I need do some more of this detail here. I probably should have done this in like a painterly style so I could just, you know, use like the values and whatnot, but we're too far into it now for that. So I was like not sure exactly what I wanted to do like this week as far as like streaming goes. So this was like the kind of like the first idea that popped into my head. I was like, maybe if I do a fan art to start off the week, that will kind of like jumpstart things. I'm definitely going to be playing this later after the update downloads. I don't know. I don't know if I should like stream the game or not. I mean, as much as I like it, it's also like, you know, cozy games are not necessarily you know, you got to be really into like cozy games for someone to want to watch. There's my full body one. There we go. Oh, she's got like a pocket on her skirt too. That's cool. Oh, and then she has some like a the bottom part of like a shirt here that like frills out. Glad I checked my reference. Let's get her apron. And this belt actually goes through here, so shoot. Should have done this belt first. That, and then this stick out from the belt area. Gonna come out like that. Like that. And then just got like the loops here. I think what I'm going to end up doing is doing some paint over some of this that might be like a little wonky here and there. But I might have to use like the coloring for some of like the details too. I think would probably be best way to go. She's got a bunch of stuff in her apron here because she makes furniture. But let's continue here with skirt. Make sure that it has the right shape. And since the wind's blowing a little bit, need to kind of figure that out. I don't know if that's enough of a bell, and it seems like a little bit too long. Maybe something like that. I think that's a bit of better shape. Yeah, we're going to do lots of adjustments as we go here. And as you guys can probably tell, I usually don't draw full body characters that often. It's something I definitely need to work on, a skill I need to develop. So we're going to continue to challenge ourselves as we go and not shy away from challenges. That's what I'm telling myself to cope here. My copium. Oh man, that is going to cover up most of her hand, which is something I said I wouldn't do anymore, but you know what? Her outfit is actually going to cover it, so. Thanks. I appreciate the confidence. I'm hoping by me challenging like my fears and going over them that you guys will be inspired to do the same and you'll make breakthroughs in your art as well. That's my goal. Oh wait, that's more, comes more like this. Let's actually erase away that. And then we'll do the lines. One of my goals is to be able to eventually draw hands without help. But that's something I gotta practice, so. That's for another day. Hey, how's it going? Glad you could make it to the stream today. Working on a Palia fan art here because I really enjoy the game and there is a new update that's coming out today. So as soon as I get done with stream today, I'm going to start that download. Super excited to have a new area to explore, new content and whatnot. It's awesome. Drawing one of my girlfriends in the game. Oh, she just has the loops on the one side. Huh. It's kind of cool. But we're gonna take some artistic freedom here and we're just gonna do it like it's a regular loop. I don't feel like changing it. Maybe I'll come back to it later and look at it and be like, ugh, I have to change that. That's definitely one of the best tips I think I've ever gotten in art is to uh, step away from your art for at least like an hour or so and then come back and look at it because then you get like a fresh like perspective and you can look at things objectively and spot mistakes and whatnot. So thanks, I appreciate it. I'm doing all right. The weather around here has been very like depressing and rainy and I'm like a water sign so that like affects me like really hard like getting out of bed when it's overcast is very difficult. I'm like, yeah, I just want to sleep all day. But you know what? I made myself get up. I was like, I gotta stream. I gotta go hang out with my friends online and be productive and do artwork. So, because I want to, because it's fun. Exactly. It's always good to, when you're struggling with things like you kind of like have to trick your brain uh, into doing things sometimes. If you're like, oh man, I don't want to get up or I don't want to do this, be like, well, if I do this, you have to kind of trick your brain into like a reward of some kind. And then you do the action and then you get the dopamine and then it's like you've successfully tricked your brain. Exactly. Oh man, yeah, there's so many times where like my friends are like, "Hey, you should come do this." And I'm like, "No, I don't know." And I'm all like wishy-washy about it. And then like I actually go and I have a great time and I'm just like, "Why was I so resistant to this? I should have just said okay." What concert did you end up going to? Like what kind of music? Oops, that was supposed to be the eraser. Oh my god, you went? Oh, I'm so jealous. Holy crap. I love baby metal so much. That's something that I want to do. That's like on my bucket list is to go see baby metal. And they have Poppy with them. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That sounds like a great time. I'm glad your friends dragged you out to that. Now I'm jealous. I'm like, oh man. Oh yeah, they're like super talented. Like I don't know how the hell that they like sing and dance and do all that for an extended period of time. Like I know that they're young, but it's still like, it's very impressive that they can keep up like vocal quality with all their choreography. My favorite song, I there's a lot of them that I like, so it's like I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like when I first heard them, I really liked the Migutsune, I think Mizutsune, something like that was like one of the first songs I heard from them that I really liked. But I like there's a specific one I like. I have to look at my playlist because I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head. Let me go look at the baby metal songs I have. Hold on, let me find it. And I need to listen to they have like brand new stuff. So I need to figure out. Hold on, let me go to baby metal real quick. I do really like Kingslayer a lot, but that's not my favorite one. So let's see. Let me go through their songs here. Looking, looking, looking. Oh my god, where is it? That's not even baby metal. What the hell? Songs. Hold on. I really like their song with Electric Callboy. I like that one a lot. I like Electric Callboy a lot too. If you guys haven't listened to them, they are very very fun German band. Let me look. Let's see. Where is it? What is it called? Oh my goodness. Distortion's really good. Um, Dang it, what is it called? They have so many songs. uh, oh, Starlight. Starlight's my favorite. That's the one that I like. Oh, you saw them too? Oh my god, now I'm really jealous. I love that band. They're so fun. We Havoc and I are possibly looking into like moving overseas to like possibly Europe. So um hopefully we'll get a chance to come and do that. Eventually we want to move to Japan, but we need like kind of like a little a place we can kind of like save up for it and you know, that kind of thing. So we were looking into Albania because apparently you can stay there as a US citizen with just your passport for a year and they have no restrictions on well they don't have any like restrictions on like pets because we have a cat and we're sure as hell not leaving him here. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I like all their music to be honest with you. They're just super talented. Like they have beautiful voices, they have tons of energy. You know, they look like they have a great time. But you know, I've always wanted to travel and see the rest of the world because I've never been outside of the US before, so I'm like really excited to, you know, hopefully have that opportunity soon. Do you really like living in Germany? Like if is that like a pretty chill, pretty uh cool place to live because my brother-in-law has family in Germany. Let's see. So she's got like a hammer in this pocket here. So we'll have to make sure that these are like kind of like aligning with each other. The northern parts. We really like the paperwork, but besides that, it is nice. Plus, the better part of the population speaks English rather well. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, I know English itself is a you know, like Havoc always says that it's three languages in a trench coat, and I know that it's based off of early Germanic. I'm not one of those like asshole Americans though. Like I if I go to another country, I want to try to make sure that I learn their language and like their culture and whatnot. So I would do my best, even though I butcher names from here as it is. So I can only imagine I would probably butcher a lot of the words, but I would try at least. And I think trying is a an important thing to do when you move to another country or you visit another country. You have to give respect in order to get respect. So, like, I had started to learn Japanese, but I honestly have been slacking on my Duolingo. Japanese is actually a really fun language to learn. I'm always impressed by like everybody that can speak like multiple languages. I'm like, that's so cool. Like in America, like in schools, like you do have to pick an elective for like a foreign language, or at least you did when I was growing up. But I didn't at the time, like as a teenager, I didn't really understand the implications or why it was important and that kind of thing. But now as I've gotten older, I'm like, man, I wish I had really like really gotten into that. When you're a teenager, you just want to like hang out with your friends and play video games all day. So, or do artwork. So I didn't put a lot of stock into it. Like I took Spanish for 2 years, but I wouldn't say that I could speak it well enough to get by. French looks really difficult. Like, um, it seems like it'd be very difficult to learn. I could be wrong though. I have no basis for saying this. Just that I've heard French being spoken, and I'm just like, I don't know if my tongue is that loosey goosey. Aw, well, at least you know you have ambition to do so. You have like a goal. Like one day you'll surprise them with like, you know, fluent French. I don't know. Just respect is really important to me as a person. So I feel like if I'm going somewhere, I want to make sure that I'm putting forth the effort to at least display that I care about their culture and actually want to be a viable part of their society. So I'm not sure what this little thingy is here. This is some sort of like, this looks like it's like a little brush to get rid of like maybe sawdust or something. Ooh, something I definitely want to do. I don't know if it's possible, like if they do public tours or not, but I really want to go see the Large Hadron Collider because like I'm a giant like science nerd. on top of like artwork and stuff. Like I really, really like the, hence why I'm a quantum VTuber. I like the idea of like quantum physics and like, things about like fundamental particles and things like that. Because it's just so interesting to me. I mean, I doubt it's open to the public, but it'd be super cool one day. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Push my glasses up through my face with my nerdgasm, just like ah, it's so cool. All right, so that's probably okay as far as lines go. For these things, like I don't want to go super crazy with the lines because I feel like I'm going to do a lot of paint over in this image, and I haven't even begun the background. There's actually quite a bit more detail when I look at things. The more I look at the model, the more detail I'm seeing, and I'm just like, crap. I don't know if I want to use lines to actually express all this. One of my problems when I was younger, growing up as an artist, is I would try to draw every single detail because I used to, I would get video game magazines in the mail. If you can tell how ancient I am, uh, but I used to try to draw like the game characters and whatnot from that. And of course, it's like a physical magazine, so it's not like I can like go in and like zoom in like I'm doing now. So I think if I do maybe like the lines for where the ruffles are and then connect them, I think that might be the easiest way to approach this. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. I actually don't draw characters with ruffles all that often. Maybe some of these I'll do. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to take a lot of this and paint over it. Uh, Trying to make sure that the length of these doesn't get like distorted too much. Should probably flip it back the other way too. It's funny too, like as I've gotten farther in my art journey, I used to not understand why people hated line work so much. But it's like now that I do digital art where I can do things like in a like with shapes and values and whatnot, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like it's actually so much like more efficient, I guess, to do it that way. I mean, it's definitely nice to, it feels rewarding when you do get like a nice crispy like line art going, but it's like much easier to do things with shapes and values and like like implying textures and whatnot. So, but we're getting there. I think a lot of the detail in this, like I said, is going to be done with my when I color it, when I paint it. So when I was trying to draw these feet here, they were looking kind of funky. So I'm going to go ahead and use the model for this. So I don't want Tish to have weird feet. Especially doing this on the internet. The internet would be like, no, what are you doing to the feet? Why? Even though I feel like the Majiri are dragon type people, they worship a dragon called Maji. So I'm assuming they're descendant of dragons. Because the humans in the game worship the phoenix. But I feel like the phoenix itself is also a some sort of representation of science. Okay, so she's got some shoes. So they kind of go over. There's like a strap right here. We want to make sure we have room for her toes. So she has comfortable shoes. So this is kind of like the top plane. I guess I was kind of close already with the sketch that I had. I don't know. I don't draw shoes often. This is another thing I need to work on. I want to start actually studying like how fashion designers come up with clothes so I can be able to make outfits for my characters that look like, you know, that they actually work. I know absolutely nothing about fashion design. Exactly, one seeker. I cannot disappoint the internet with ugly feats. We're gonna kind of have it like there's a little bit of a heel here, I think. I don't know if that's actually how it looks, but my God, yeah, I'm gonna have to paint over a lot of this. That's fine. All right, so now we can get rid of this part. Sorry, Windseeker, the toes are going. Oops. I just wanted to draw them in so it looked like the shoe would be at least somewhat correct. And I'm thinking this here needs to be fixed. Something like this, maybe. Actually, this part here should be farther back. Oh yeah, I'm gonna paint over a lot of this. like that. And then she's got these little things above her ankles here. Got so many hairy lines here. It's like irking me to look at them. But I think, like I said, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do some paint over here so we don't kill ourselves over the details. So it would come over. Strap would be kind of like that. You have lots of room for the toes. This one might look a little weird, I think. Hold on. Maybe we can fix it. So we gotta leave some room. Have it be like the right plane there. It's actually one of the nice things about streaming your artwork is that you're always in the back of your mind, like someone will hold you accountable for being like lazy on parts of it, even though that doesn't necessarily is actually happening. But for me, it's like, oh, I'm not going to worry about fixing this. And I'm like, wait, people are watching me. I'm kind of like tricking my brain into being held accountable for my laziness. Some little like psychological art tricks. But of course, you don't want to do it like to the degree where you're like feeling self conscious about what you're doing. It's a balance. Okay. Sketch. The foot still looks kind of crazy. Let's see, what can we do to fix this? We need to reduce some of the. I think the shape's a little different. And let's flip it the other way. It's okay. It's fine. So we're going to do that. Let's remove some of these artifacts down here. Clear, duplicate, multiply, blur them a little bit. And we're going to do this. And select the little in-between areas here. Select, invert. And I'm going to fill this with gray. So we have a silhouette. And then we can clip all of our colors to the silhouette here when we do that. Oops, I should have raced away in here. Oops. There we go. We got that. Oops, some of these fingers down here are not filled in, so let's do that. And down here. Oh man, it's so messy down here. That's okay. We will fix it. By we, I mean me. It'll be fine. All right, cool. So we have the silhouette here. And I kind of need to lay down where the things are in the background. So I've got a little sketch of the topography a little bit here. So I think I'm going to use different gray values here for things. And let's actually bring this up so we can keep track of the perspective. That and this a little bit. Well, if we want to do, because this is, I had the hardest time because she has this particular tree. Oh, it's okay. Hey, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope your meeting goes well and I hope you have the great rest of your day. It was fun talking to you. I had the hardest time finding a reference for, because she hangs out in this particular, there's a field and then there is a giant tree that she hangs out by. So we're gonna have like this as like path, and then oops, I did that on the wrong layer. Son of a bitch. There we go. Boop. All right, so we fix that. And I think underneath it, we can have like, kind of like the darker where there's like the grass and the hills here. We're gonna make this a bit darker this way. And let's have this kind of do that. And we're going to change our music. We go to the next one. Ooh, I like this song. Let's see, we got our tree, so let's do that. Of these, we'll make it slightly lighter. This is a giant ass tree, by the way. I'm glad at least like the designs and like the shape language of the game are like pretty fun. Let's add some like more detail roots here. Shines maybe my eyes. Yeah. Sleep on the right side of the white noise. Let's do that. So that's still looking pretty good, I think. We can always manipulate it here. I think if we bring this shape down a little bit here, it'll help bring it into perspective. I think here too, I kind of want it to line up with this checker. There we go. That looks like that fits the perspective a little bit better now. I'll move this up just a tad. Well, no, it's probably okay where it is. This one will move down to meet this section here. I think that looks better. I'm not an expert on perspective, of course, so another skill to learn. All right. And there is some more grass back here. But I need to use a lighter color for that. Because we want it to be lighter as we go back into the background there. But the horizon line is more down here though, so maybe, oops, I did that on the freaking the wrong thing. uh crap. Crap. Let's try to get the horizon line here. So I need to change some stuff here. I just realized I wasn't even like following my guide too well here. Like that. And did I also do that on the wrong layer? I think I did. So this stuff is kind of like, because it's a valley, so some of it goes up, some of it goes down. So this is actually probably okay. So there's different like topography. And erase away that on, is it this layer? It's that layer. Do that. We should probably do, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly like our reference. Like we're just gonna try our best to get it kind of close here. So I'm gonna have another path here. It needs to get a little bit bigger as it comes closer. Something like that. And then behind that, there's like cliffs over here. So we're gonna get even lighter. You can't even really see it because it's probably the same as this background color. I'm gonna go ahead and just make the whole background here white because we want it to get lighter as we go back and darker as we get to the foreground here. So let's have some cliff kind of sticking off here. And I think there's some cliffs that even go farther back. So a little bit lighter again. Because it's a valley, so there's a lot of different like elevations here. That doesn't really work. I kind of want to have like some negative space around her head. So let's do this. Let's bring up our rule of thirds guide here. And I want more negative space around here to kind of follow her head line. So I'll have to tweak some things. To like, so it kind of leads up to her face here, is what I'm thinking. And we can bring this down. And we'll have it kind of like over here. We're gonna have it like kind of continue off maybe that way. Oops. Maybe even bring this down some more. Like that, and that down. Actually, let's move it over some, I think. So it's kind of like going towards her face. So that's the focal point. Have this one actually feel like it's a bit closer here. I think that's a bit better as far as composition goes. Let's turn that off. Might even move Tish down some. Or maybe I can move her. I'm not gonna move her up. I think if I move her, might have to move the tree over a bit here. Do this and then scoot it just a bit this way. And then we'll continue it. I'm going like that. Well, it's a big old fat tree, so we'll just go ahead and fill that in. Kind of want to make sure that we want to focus on the composition here, so. I was thinking about having like some flowers around here. Let's turn that off. Yeah, that's looking okay. All right. Kind of looking at Tish here to see if she needs to be manipulated at all. Like I'm almost kind of thinking maybe her that down here should be longer. She has a lot more of her legs showing on this dress here. Of course, it is at a slight angle. Maybe if I can bring them down without distorting it too much. Well, that's probably going to jack it up. Maybe if we have like where the dress itself is kind of blowing with the wind a little bit here, because we have like the hair kind of. And then maybe if we pinch a little bit here, maybe around her waist area. I don't know. It might be one of those things where I'm going to have to come back and look at it, make sure that things aren't janky. But let's do this. Let's at least put some flat colors on things, and then we'll probably wrap it up from here. So let's do, these are lines. Get this organized. These will be colors. So I guess I'll just do flats for now. That. Label this as the base. And we're going to clip everything to the base. So let's see. Got a color pick. Trying to find like kind of like a neutral in between color. It's not too dark, not too light, so we can work either direction. So maybe like that. And since we're going to be overlapping these colors here, doesn't really matter if we go over some of these lines. At least not all of them. And we're just kind of doing this like rough and quick because we're not going to be doing this too much longer today. I also have to decide whether I'm going to do the values in grayscale and then go from there, or what. I'm going to let this marinate for a little bit, and I'll come back and look at it, and then we'll decide our plan of action from there. Okay, got that. So that'll be, label that as her skin. And then for the teeth, we're going to do like, not the teeth and the eye whites. We're going to do a color that's not quite white, but has a little bit of the skin tone in it. You don't want to make it pure white. No, that's not at all what I selected. Oh my goodness. I'll have to come back through and clean all this up. Yeah, I'll just do it roughly, and then we'll come back through it later and clean it up. Some areas that'll bother me, so let's do that. All right, so that's the teeth and the eye whites. Oprah and the Queen. Let's get her color blue from her eyes there. That'll be iris space, iris colors. And we're gonna do the pupils, but not as pure black, but this black here. know what? I'm just going to go over it. I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. And then I can clean the outsides. Right. I do that right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be doing some paint over on this image. Ready? So that'll be pupils. Let's actually get her tongue color under there. So let's see. Let's do maybe something like this. It's actually pretty close to like her lip color too. Nice. All right, so let's do, just kind of fill that in real quick. And then we'll, like I said, we'll do all of our rendering and whatnot for another stream. Go, we got our lip color. So let's do, make sure we label everything. Lips. And she's got kind of like brownish eyebrows, so we'll do that. Save. And let's grab kind of like an in-between color on her hair here. So we can take this and be able to do lights and darks. We'll get like a mid value. Oh wait, I forgot some of this isn't her hair. Some of that is her little head wrap. And we'll clean this up later. Oops. There we go. I was going to say, why is that going outside of the lines? Because it wasn't clipped yet. That started to go into her clothes. Kind of wanted to make sure that it goes over the lines. Because we have the whole clipping mess that we're working with. All right, that's pretty good for the hair for now. Let's grab the green for the rest of her clothes here. She has a good amount of the same color, so I'm gonna grab that. Yeah, like I said, I'll fix this later. For now, it's just gonna be our face, especially since I'm getting hungry. Had to get some fuel so I can play the game. Huh? Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Let's see. So let's see. Her shoes green too. Yes. Shoes are green, and then her little ankle wraps here are green. I'm definitely gonna fix those later. It's looking so messy down there. Let's see. So this is green. Did I not put it on this side? Whoops. That's okay. I'll fix it later. We're going to do a bunch of like paint over details to get like a lot of the details and stuff in her outfit anyway. This is just the base. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna just label these as the greens. Then this brown here. This is kind of a little darker, but I think it'll be okay. Try to at least get the basics filled in. That, so we'll do these, label these as browns. And underneath that, we have a different color. We have this kind of cream color here. This is actually under the greens too. That for now. Some of it also comes out down here, but it's going to be actually over the screen, so I'll have to fix that later. Where else does she have this cream color? I think that's only on that. Yeah, not even down there. That's more of like a goldish color on the trim there. So let's do cream. And she's got this. You know what? I'm getting really hungry, so I think I'm going to go ahead and actually call this here. Let me go ahead and just label this as the patches. And then we'll do our little wrap up. And make sure that I save. All right, let me put this nice and big on the screen here. So do this and Move that over so you guys can see it. So yeah, this is how far we got on our Tish fan art for today. I will most likely continue this later in the week at some point. So, you know, I hope you guys had a good time watching me work on it. You know, I definitely appreciate having people to talk to during the art process. That definitely helps me out a lot here. So let me go ahead and stick you guys in the lobby. I will not be streaming tomorrow because I take Wednesdays off. I'm admittedly, of course, going to be playing a bunch of Palia since the new expansion has come out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you're not already following me, go ahead and give me a follow to see when I go live. And I will catch you guys on Thursday. Bye bye bye.